Hey guys, what's cracking? Hope everybody's doing good. Hope everybody is doing good. Yeah. So, what are we gonna do? Alright guys, we got a geomagnetic storm coming. It's actually, I think it's hitting now. So that's what I would say to that. I'm going to just jump in here and say hi to everybody real quick. Thank you guys, for being here. And yeah, had some technical stuff going on again. It seems like that's par for the course anymore. But can somebody give me a 5 for 5 if you could? That would be awesome. What the heck is going on with that? Wow. Hey Illy, what's up? What's up, brother? All right. Okay, so let's just jump into this. Guys, I will be doing a members only stream, maybe tonight. I'm not really sure yet. I've been just so busy. It's been crazy around my house. But we're going to, if not, I will most definitely be here tomorrow. That's the first thing I'm going to do tomorrow. If I can't get that going tonight, it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to tonight. So I'm just going to tell you guys that straight up. If I do, it's going to be late. I don't want to do that to you guys. But we will get one in this week. Like I said, I try to do it once a week, but it seems like it's been about every 2 weeks since I started memberships. It's hard to get that stuff going and keep it going with doing all the other stuff that's happening and all that stuff. And you know, doing my family thing and all that. It does make it a little bit difficult. So thank you guys for your patience with me on that. And we are going to go ahead and just jump into this. All right, guys. So we do have an incoming geomagnetic storm. I do think it might be hitting now. If you can see here, we've actually got looks like we might have an increase in X-ray. That X-ray is not quite the flare range, really. It's C flare, but it's not really a flare. We're just at that C level. If we get to an R1, that would be an M flare. Nothing big going on with flaring right now, I don't think. At least not that I can see. It does look like we're trending upward on the geomagnetic activity, the KP index. Okay. So we are going to take a look at that, and I'm going to show you some models here in just a minute that will show you that it does look like we might be starting to take a geomagnetic hit. Their forecasting is like right now. They give themselves, I think it's plus or minus 7 hours, I think, on their accuracy here, and that they would fall into that. Now they're saying G1. It does look like that's probably what I would say too. G1, maybe a G2 on the outside, maybe even not even a G1 on the inside. Okay, so that's what I would say. But to take a look at the sun here real quick, you see all these sunspots, guys. Okay, this one here, this is the one that everybody was freaking out about. It's the third time around. This is the one that caused the big geomagnetic storm, okay? But it is not what it used to be, okay? It is definitely deteriorating very, very quickly. It just is. There's nothing more to say about that. Now, guys, any of these things can erupt at any time, okay? So I would just say that. We never let our guard down, but we're not scared of nothing either, okay? No fear, no fear, no fear. I say that all the time. And that's what I believe here. Now, guys, you see this right here? Now, we're going to be able to see this data here in a minute. This is ACE. This is the old, what we used to look at for space weather conditions. We look at Discover now. It's a couple different satellites here, but they're actually missing the BZ in the phi angle, which is kind of odd, that just those two. The density and the speed and the temperature is all there. Now, obviously, they may be getting the data for this from maybe a couple different areas or what have you. I do think that this is all coming from the same satellite. At least they try to. But they do have backups that they go to if they're not working. So, actually, ACE is actually the backup now for... let me go to Discover here real quick. This. Okay? Now, we are taking some sort of hit right now. And I'll show you that here in a minute. But our density is increasing. Okay, we got to 20. And then right now, if you look right here, look what's happening like right this second. Okay, fluctuation. We got massive swinging back and forth as far as density and speed. It's moving back and forth, up and down, which means typically that we've got space weather hitting. Now, we also look for the BZ here, the -6. That's just the threshold we look for. That's the magnetic orientation. I'm not going to go into exactly what that means right now, but we look for -6 or more, and that will put us in a position that will accept space weather a lot more. Now, if that's in a positive, it actually will deflect better. Okay? So that's just what I will say there. Now, again, guys, temperature here. This here is speed. That's density. Everything is moving right now. And so what we're going to do is I will take you straight to this model. Okay, these are the magnetopause models. This is going to show us space weather coming from the sun, left to right. Okay, and anybody that's watched the channel for any length of time, if you've only seen me a couple times, you've probably already seen this model anyway. And you're going to see space weather, the beginnings of it hit. Okay, so let me pause that. This is just speed, velocity. Sun's off to the left, like I said. And here we go, right about, see how it starts moving? And then we get compressed right there on the end. What's going to happen here, we got compressed. Now, the next few images, we might get compressed a little bit more. You see how the bow shock, which is the first point of contact, space weather to our magnetic field, it's going to compress. It may compress a little bit more, but then we're going to get what we call rapid expansion. We're going to win that fight for a minute, and this bow shock is going to shoot out in front. In other words, we're going to sit here and bounce around like a tuning fork. Okay? That's what's going to happen. And we can see that probably even more clear here with the density. Now, this is density only. Okay? The darker blues are higher dense areas, the lighter blue, and that's why inside our protection here, inside our magnetopause, it's not as dense because our magnetic field is deflecting all that space weather around us. Okay? So as we come forward here, right here on the end, you see that right there? Okay, we're starting to get hit. Now, the pressure, everybody understands pressure, right? This is magnetic pressure. And same thing, you're going to see more movement here typically. And so we're able to see a little bit more about what's going on. And right there at the end, you can see how we're probably just now starting to get the beginnings of this CME. Okay? And that's what this was. This was a CME. This is the Australian model of the same. Okay? It's very simple. This is the bow shock. Here's our satellites. Most of our satellites in the satellite orbit here. Okay, that's the satellite line. We do pay attention to that because if it gets inside the satellite line, that means the satellites are exposed to space weather without our magnetic protection. Okay, so that does become a concern. Now, you know, geomagnetically, yes, it does matter if you're on the day side of the planet, but not as much as it does with a flare. Okay, we'll see effects from this globally if we get into geomagnetic storming. Okay, it's a little different how it enters into our system. Okay, and it does come in on the poles easier, but protons do too from massive CMEs. So yeah, and flares. X-ray is light. It's getting here in about 8 minutes. Now CMEs, which is what we're talking about here, takes, you know, usually roughly on average about 3 days. It can be minus that or plus a couple days, depending on how fast things are moving. Okay. Now, so let me, I do want to show you, this is NOAA's forecast, okay? And I showed you guys this the other day, and actually I think they changed it a little bit more. They updated it some more. Now you can see right here where they're saying that, I would assume that they're probably going to change this again. You know, it just does look like we're getting hit. I don't know if this thing is getting here early or what. But something's hitting us, okay? So I'm not sure if it's this CME or if we got to wait on this one to get here. Okay, so we're going to be talking about this a little bit because if you look at their forecasting, this ain't supposed to hit until tomorrow night. So we're right here, and our geomagnetic activity is actually already past that. Now, are we going to get into geomagnetic storms? I don't know right this second. Now, when we get over here tomorrow, I would be more confident and say yes. Now, if this thing got here faster, like a day faster, which is hard for me to believe, okay? Because I think we're getting hit with something different. It's probably a different eruption that nobody's seen, and it probably isn't really all that big of a deal. But the fact of the matter is, we're getting hit with something. I just showed it to you. And the data is moving. Everything's moving right now. That doesn't happen unless you're getting hit with space weather. So if we come over here to, this is a German website, and we look at this, this is the HP. This is a 30-minute average versus a 3-hour average over here. So we're getting kind of more real time over here when we're talking about the KP. It's just an indice they use to measure geomagnetic activity, which they're actually talking about changing how we measure those. And they put a thing out to the public wanting, ideas on what they should do. And it could cause issues because it won't allow us to be able to compare as easy historically. So I really hope they don't do that. Unless it's just a small tweak here and there. I hope they don't change it like drastically, because it will hinder how we look at the stuff historically, because they'll have to go back to everything that we've had historically and try to change that into the new indices so we can compare. And it's just going to be a mess if that happens, in my opinion. Now, they could probably get it done. I'm not saying that they couldn't. I'm just saying I hope that they don't. And it's just me. Now, I will say that according over here to Seeds, okay, this is SOHO. This satellite here, here's Earth. This satellite sits right out in front of Earth, right? So if we go to down here, this shows us recent eruptions. It's a CME tracker, and there was an eruption here going down this way. It doesn't look as though this is going to hit us. That actually could be on the backside also. But what we're going to do, we'll go back here, we'll scroll on down, and we'll go back, 3 days? So we'll go back to the 24th, and if we look, we see this. Okay, this is that big eruption that happened. Right? This is back on the 24th. Today's the 27th. So it makes you wonder if maybe that ain't what's going on here. If maybe we're catching a glancing blow from something. But I think this actually was mostly off of the backside. I don't think it was really on the front as much as it could have been, I guess. Now, there was also some more eruptions before and after that. So if we look at the 23rd, we get some eruptions over here in the danger zone. But that, that never really, accounted for a whole lot of anything. But then we have a stretch on the 24th where we had nothing. But then on the 25th, we see this. Okay, now I know it doesn't look all that impressive or all that big until right there at the end, right? So I'm wondering, this one here just didn't look like it was moving fast enough to get here in 2 days. Okay, so I don't think this is the one that's hitting us. And there was a sundiver right there too. I showed you guys this in my last video. If you guys look right there, that's a comet that's shooting towards the sun. It's going to get ate up. It's not going to do anything. It's just, it probably won't even make it to the sun. So, what we're going to do now, we'll go over here to SDO, and I'll show you what's going on with that. Hey, Gunslinger, good to see you. Refresh the HP. Okay, hold on 1 second. Yeah, see, guys, I mean, we're getting closer to geomagnetic storms here. This is it's getting close. Now, it did dive back off right there. But these things do have a tendency when they hit to fluctuate up and down, up and down. Now we need to get to a 5 here to get to geomagnetic storms. What's that mean for us? Well, just some communication disruptions, increased aurora, that kind of thing. It's not a huge deal, okay, as far as how it's going to affect our everyday life. Also, I guess I could update this too. So we'll update this model and see what we got here. And again, guys, it doesn't look like anything started moving until right here at the end. See how it started bouncing around? So this is just happening. So, I mean, I'm not going to like be, hey, this is, you know, it's not like that. What it is, though, is something we got to look at. Because if this is the one hitting a day early, that's kind of, that could push us up into a stronger geomagnetic storm if that's the case. But most likely it's something that we didn't see that's actually we're interacting with, okay? Now, so let me scroll down here. This is a SDO, okay? So I'm going to show you where this satellite's at. It's in geosynchronistic orbit. It always hangs out over our planet right here, but it always keeps its eye on the sun. It's from our perspective. It's as if you went outside and looked up, okay? So I'll just say that. Now, and that's probably how I'm going to do it from now on, guys, because I think I do waste a whole lot of time explaining that over and over and over again. I'm going to show it to you, and I'm going to say that, okay? I really do think I waste it. I'm trying to condense things a little bit because I think I get too long drawn out. I really do. I went back and watched quite a few of my live streams, and frankly, I'm kind of embarrassed about some of them. It's not good. Yeah, so I'm going to go, and I'm going to get better, and I will absolutely be focusing on that. So you can look for the content to get more concise and straight to the point, and I will always stop and say thank you when people donate. You know, gifted memberships and all that stuff. Yes, I will always stop and say, and I'm going to stop halfway through and say, hey, thank you. And then, you know, when they first do it, if I see it, I'll say, thank you. And thank you for the gifted memberships. I'll talk to you in a minute. And then I'll get to halfway and then at the end. That's how I'm going to do it. I have to do it that way. I can't do it much any other way, guys. So what we're going to do here, this is the 26th and the 27th. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's just go back to... how far back do I want to go? Let's just go to the 25th. Okay, so we're going to be looking at extreme ultraviolet. And so I'm going to look at the 131. Extreme ultraviolet is a filter they put on here. It's a part of the light spectrum we cannot see with our eyes. Okay, so they put a filter on it so we have something to look at. It looks at specific gases. So it gives us different visuals when we look at different angstroms of light. So we see different gases, basically. And it does, from angstrom to angstrom, we do see a lot of different things, okay? So this one here does show flares fairly well. And it does sometimes pick up CMEs pretty decently. So when you see the flashes, that's what you're going to see. But you also kind of do see plasma reach off. Now, see right there? That's what I think is hitting us right now. Well, it's going to hit us probably in a couple days. That's what they're forecasting us to hit. This one right here. Okay, so let me just show you what I'm talking about here. See that? Watch right here. And it's hard to see. It really is. Wham. Okay? Now, I know it doesn't look too impressive, but it's in the Earth strike zone. Okay, right here's the Earth strike zone. When things are rotating through the sun right there, and they're right in front of Earth, we got a better chance of being hit by them, right? So that's what I'll say. There you go. Wham. Wham. Wham bam. There you go. Just kidding. Just kidding. But anyway, that is the one that is probably what they're forecasting to hit us. Okay? So, yeah. Now, what's hitting us before that? You know, we have to go back to the 25th, and I will say that there was an eruption right here. Okay? So watch right here. See that? It didn't look impressive though. But anytime something happens on this side of the sun and it's not on the limb, it camouflages itself. Okay, so it's kind of hard to actually see. And so when we go look at stuff like seeds here, this is a physical disc on the camera. Okay, so we can't see what's actually behind it, not from this point of view. So we have to look at a different satellite, and we used to have stereo A over here, and it really helped us because it was a side view. We no longer have stereo A over there. It's actually basically from the same point of view as this. It's actually over to the right a little bit, and it gives us kind of an angled look, but it's more, it's not exactly our point of view, but it's close enough to call it that. But, you know, there is a slight angle difference, but, you know, I wish it was still out there. It's not, so whatever, you know, put my big boy pants on, quit whining, and move on, right? But, you know, and that's what we do. So, you know, exactly. Now, again, guys, is this going to be a big deal? I don't think it's going to be a big deal, but I do think it's something that we need to talk about and pay attention to. I just upped that again. Now, they changed that again. Check it out. I just refreshed that again. They're changing it because they're getting more data, guys. So now it's up to a 4. We're getting close to a geomagnetic storm here. And it did drop back down, but it'll probably fluctuate here, guys. That's exactly what we're seeing in the data, okay? If I go back over here to Discover, you see how we're jumping around here? Now, it does look like that the density did drop a little bit and staying low right there, but we are in -6 here on the BZ. The speed is still kind of fluctuating. Everything's still kind of moving. So I'm hesitant to say 100% this is happening, but I'm also not so crazy to say that, hey, we're not getting hit already. I do think we are getting hit with something, but is it going to get us into geomagnetic storms? Don't know. But what I will say is that tomorrow they're forecasting a geomagnetic storm. Okay? So that is incoming. It's happening. It's coming. Now, will it be a big deal? No, it's not. It's not a huge deal. A G1 is not a big deal. We just went through a G5 back in May. Okay? We're all still here. All of us still have our electric. All that kind of thing, right? So there's nothing to fear. We don't fear things we can't control anyway. So that's just what I'll say. Now, let's, what I do want to do is I want to touch on this, okay? Now, this is back in the news, guys, okay? Now, I'm hearing people say that Earth's getting a new star. No, that's not what's happening. I wish people would not do this. It drives me nuts. This is the kind of stuff that drives me nuts. This is on a cycle. This is roughly a 79 or 80 year cycle. That's how they know this is getting ready to happen. Okay, so what am I talking about? Well, we've got a binary system, which is 2 suns in the same system. Okay, it's a 2 sun system. We have 1, right? And listen, one of them is actually drawn from another one, okay? And it goes nova about every 80 years. It explodes. That simple. Okay? About every 80 years. How do they know it's getting ready to happen? Well, number one, the time frame, because the last time it happened was in 1946. Okay, so we're right on time for that. We see a pre-eruption dip. Okay? In other words, what they're talking about is the intensity in light. It drops from this area of space. Okay? And what they're looking at. And this is going to be visible from Earth. We're going to get a new star from our point of view. It's not actually a star, though. It is a nova explosion. It is an increase in light. That's what we're getting. That's what we're going to see. It's not a new star. Okay? There ain't no new star being born here. That ain't what's going on. So they see a dip in light intensity, so they know this is getting ready to happen at any time. And when it does, it's going to appear as if we get a new star for like 6 days, and then it's going to go away again. That's what's happening. We're not getting a permanent star, guys. It's not the birth of a new star. So please make sure you guys understand that. And when you're watching other people, ask them, why are you calling it it's not a new star. It's not. It's a star going nova. All right? So you can come over here to spaceweather.com and read all about it right here, which is a very good way to do it. Or you can do a Google search like I did. Here you go. Okay, and this comes from a conceptual image. Okay, here's a binary system, right? You got one drawn from another, and this one goes nova. That's what's going on there. It does it every 80 years. This is expected. This isn't something that they couldn't have forecasted. They can't tell you the exact day, but they can tell you when they see that dip roughly every 80 years in light production that this is getting ready to happen again. Okay? So I would encourage you guys, and I'll leave this in my description box, the link to this. Okay? I would encourage you guys to go over here and check this out and read it. I'm not going to read it to you. These guys do the work. Please go read over here. Okay? But I did want to show you that. Because I talked about this last week. And Adam and Dex did a really good job reporting on it too. Okay? So that's what I'm saying. Outside of that, I've seen a couple of other people talk about it. They got it right on the head too. But then there's others out there saying that this is a brand new star and it's this and that. This is a once in a lifetime thing for people though. That's what I will say. Because we're not here much longer than 80 years, right? So please take the time to go out. And it's easy to see. It's going to be easy to see. It's going to be in your northeastern sky. In Corona Borealis, that's the area of space. Guys, just key it up on your phone. Say, hey, looking for this, whatever, from your location. It'll tell you exactly what time to go outside and look up. It's not that hard. Now, it hasn't happened yet. Okay? So you're not going to see it right now, but I would encourage you guys to go look at this area of space. Hey, Trinity, good to see you. But so yeah, guys, hey, Butterfly, thanks for being first in here tonight. Hey, good to see you live. Glad you, and the replay crew, guys, I love all you guys. You guys are awesome. So thank you for that. But yeah, guys, so that's what's happening with that. So please don't, yeah. Now, also, Dr. Tony Phillips over here is talking about the CME supposed to hit tomorrow night. That's when another CME is supposed to hit. And I'll be talking about that tomorrow. Okay? And yeah. So, and I am doing a members only stream. I will not do it any later than tomorrow. I will do it tomorrow if I can't get it done tonight. I don't think I'm going to be able to tonight. My daughter has got, during the summer, she does color guard, and they're getting ready for state, and it's a very, very stressful time. Yeah, they're in a full week camp right now, and it's all day long. It's hot for them. It's horrible for them, and they're getting ready for it. Last year we had a kid pass away at this event at the state fair because of those kinds of reasons. So this is a hard thing for the kids. And my daughter's a senior, guys, and frankly, I'm not going to miss anything. Ain't happening. That's what I do. I'm a father first, and that's just where it lies. Husband and father first, and then everything else comes second. And I do prioritize, and I try to get here every day as I can. And what I'm going to do, though, guys, is I'm going to quit saying, hey, I'm going to do a live stream or do a members only stream tomorrow, because I haven't been able to follow through with that very often. And I don't want to keep saying that and everybody think, well, he ain't gonna, no, it ain't what it is. I'm trying to, I just can't. If I do a members only stream at 3 o'clock in the morning, that sucks for people, right? Because not very many members will be here. So I need to do it at a time where most people can be here to get the maximum benefit for you guys. And we're going to have fun. I'm going to do a Zoom tomorrow, guys. So if you guys want to call in on a Zoom call with me, I'm going to send a Zoom link. And if anybody wanted to come on and just do audio, I'm not going to do visual, okay? I won't do video tomorrow, but I'll do an audio call for you guys on Zoom. And if you guys want to come on and we'll talk during the members only stream, any questions you have, we'll, just hang out, that kind of thing. I may bring Hilly on with me or Trinity or something like that. But yeah. So, yeah. Now, all right, guys. So I am going to go ahead and cut it off there, but I want you guys to be aware of this. So when you're watching other channels and other people reporting on this, ask them what they mean by a new star. That's all you got to do. Ask them to explain to you how long this star is going to be here. Is it a new star? No, it's not. It's an exploding star. It's an existing star that's been drawing from this parent star, okay? And it goes nova every 80 years. That's what you're going to see, okay? So before I let you guys off here, let's go ahead and refresh this. And thank you to all the new members that have been, gifting memberships and everything. Genius by Birth, Full of Hope, Aaron, Deep Quake. Guys, get over and check out Matthew Shipley. Deep Quake's a mod over there with me. Matthew Shipley is a 24-hour live stream. Great graphics. Get over there and check out Hilly. Hilly, I'm going to email you, brother. I might just text you. I don't want to cost you any money on your text, though. If you're getting charged per text, I'll just email you. And I'll send you a Zoom link if you want to go Zoom with me tomorrow, and we'll talk through email tonight. I'll send you an email. And we'll kind of work that out. Trinity, if you want to do it too with us, all good. Just want to make sure, guys. And any if Rip wants to do it, Leah wants to come on with this video, but after or Jammer or anybody else wants to come on video, the ones that some of my mods that help run my channel, kind of. Those are the ones I'm going to let come on video. But anybody else, I'll send a video. I'll send a Zoom link out in the chat tomorrow at some point during the members only stream. And we'll get you in here audio if you want to. And it's not hard, guys. All you got to do is click the link. Okay, so don't think that you have to do some massive thing. Typically, all you do is click the link. It'll ask you if you need to download the Zoom app. It's a very quick download, and you get right in. It's really that simple. So, and there's also, I'll be able to actually put a phone number in there that you guys can dial also if you don't want to do the Zoom app. You can actually just call in on your phone. Okay? So, that's what's going to happen tomorrow. But, guys, remember, let's take a look at this model right here before we leave. This is that CME they're talking about going to hit tomorrow. Okay? There's something else behind there, too. See that? That's another eruption. It's not going to make it here on this model, but it does look like we got another one coming. So, it doesn't look like it's massive or anything, but it does look like we got some stuff coming. So, we got some space weather happening, and new stuff can happen at any time. But it also does look like what we just had happen now is tailing off. It looks like it's already subsiding. So that could be the case, or it could jump back up. Let's go over here and look at Discover real quick. Now, see, we're back out of -6 too. Things do look like they've calmed down a little bit already. So this might have been like a glancing blow, maybe a coronal hole stream, maybe the current sheet hit, that kind of thing. But doesn't look like we're going to get into a geomagnetic storm at this second, but we could. So, anyway, guys, I'll see you guys tomorrow. God bless. Yahusha saves, and as always, you can drink this Kool-Aid.